Javier Palomarez is president and CEO of the United States Hispanic Business Council, which is the leading advocate for America's 4.7 million Hispanic-owned businesses. And, sir, your voice is very important in all this. Please weigh in on this moment.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys giving American small business a voice. As you guys know, it's the small businesses in this country that create 70% of the new jobs. It's not the big corporations. And as you said, the USHBC advocates on behalf of 4.7 million Hispanic-owned firms in this country that collectively contribute over $800 billion to our economy. Obviously, Texas is a state that is ripe with Hispanic-owned businesses and Hispanic leaders, and we see the issue here. We thought at the USHBC that it was important to come down to where the situation is actually happening, to the epicenter, and grab people who live here, Americans. We had a local rancher, we had the head of the Produce Association, we had an elected judge, we had a brand new, freshly minted member of Congress, we had a wonderful community activist. They all came together, male, female, Hispanic, non-Hispanic, Republican, Democrat, and they all have at least two things in common. They love South Texas, and they all see that this is a crisis. We all need help. We need Washington and our elected officials to come together and help us solve this crisis.
Is it fair to say then that those Hispanic business owners that you're mentioning, while they are obviously in favor of legal immigration in this country, they're warning of the consequences of this illegal migration that we're seeing and the extent to which we will see it once Title 42 goes away?
My goodness, they're screaming at the top of their lungs. They want the administration to pay attention. We would love to see the president come down here to where the situation is actually happening live and to speak to the Americans who are here, paying taxes, raising children, and hear from us. Business doesn't work in a vacuum. Everybody here is being impacted. The educational system, the medical system, certainly business, and even the judicial system. Everybody gets impacted. I think that business has a role. I think we should have a voice. And I really appreciate you guys giving us this voice and allowing us this platform to reach out to the president, to reach out to Congress and say, you guys need to come down here. You need to see what we're experiencing and what our Christmas is looking like.
Let me ask you about this blow to businesses that you're talking about here, that these Hispanic business leaders are warning of as this continues. Can you quantify that for us? I mean, maybe that's hard to do, but give us some sense of what you're preparing for and what you're preparing these small businesses for as more and more come over that border.
Well, think about the situation that every American small business is faced with right now, and certainly Hispanic businesses. We're dealing with a tsunami of issues. We're not done yet with the after effects of COVID. We're still dealing with high inflation. We're still dealing with interest rates that are going through the roof. We're still reeling from the effects of supply chains that are disrupted or decimated. All of that is still on our plate. On top of that, you've got this situation. It has become easier for an immigrant to come here and work illegally, enter the country illegally, work under the table, than it is to follow the proper path, get his or her papers, get everything in order, get an actual job, and pay taxes. That's what we want. That's what we need. We need the labor. There's no question about it. The produce organizations here, this is a rich, fertile country of produce and vegetables and citrus. We need that labor. Right. We can't get to it in its current construct.
The president was asked, because there's growing bipartisan calls for him to visit the border. I just heard you calling on the president to visit the border. He was asked about that by our own reporter, Peter Ducey, and he responded that there's a lot of other things that he needs to do right now, that this was not a priority. What was your response to that, sir?
That's disheartening. That's disheartening to all the people who are here. I'm a Democrat. I voted for Joe Biden, and I'm pleading with him to come down here and illustrate that he cares of the people of South Texas. Everybody here, male, female, Republican, Democrat, every end of the spectrum here, everybody agrees on one thing. This is a crisis, and we need attention from Washington. We need action from our leaders.
Would you vote for him again?
We'll see. But I got to tell you, the Democrats are going to make a Republican out of me.
Wow. It's a big statement, sir. Thank you very much for coming on to talk about this. We appreciate it.